So I made a over 20-minute video explaining the whole backstory that I'm debating if I should or should not post that. I'm leaning that I should, but I do want to do some more editing because there's a whole lot of screenshots that I want to include. But about 2 hours ago, he messaged me, and about 2 hours ago, he made this very interesting post because maybe I shouldn't assume it's about me, but I don't know who else 2 hours ago he'd be making a post like that about. But as you learn in the previous, or not the previous, I haven't posted it yet, the previous video I made but have not posted, you will learn that I am the only reason he was living with me. I was living at my grandfather's house. I was renting from my grandfather. My grandfather actually kicked him out of the house, something to do with the back door. Like, he always would leave it open to go smoke or something. And my grandfather, I just remember coming up, and my grandfather was screaming at him to get out of the house. And me, had to show mercy and ask my grandfather to not kick him out. And even though my grandfather thought and told me that he believed he was stealing, my naivety made me think, oh, Carlos could never steal. But then looking back in retrospect, with the whole never paying rent ever, and then also just like he tried to put a curse on me and all this craziness. So I don't know what he's telling his friends about the situation. All I know is the only thing he got from me and my family was a place to stay, even though I was not nice about it because he was not welcomed and he would not leave. But he still had a roof over his head, and he ate my food because he was a chunky monkey at that point. And then also him coming and basically my dad told me, after learning that Carlos broke into the garage to sleep on a couch in the garage, that I need to get rid of him and just tell Carlos that my parents will pay for a bus ticket to Mississippi back to his mommy. So the only last will and testament, that's the other thing, is there was no inheritance besides the house, which sold for thousands of dollars cash within 24 hours. So there was no last will and testament. Funny story about me personally without him involved. When my grandfather's wife, my grandmother, passed away, we were actually on our way to the cemetery, and I whispered to my grandfather, when's the will gonna get read? And that's the funny thing. All my grandparents have now passed away, and there was never a will like that. There wasn't like an estate like there is now with my family. There wasn't like large amounts of property like my parents have, but my grandparents weren't as well off as my personal parents are. And that's another thing I mentioned in the video is I have never, ever, not one single night, gone to bed hungry. I cannot recall in my 33 years of life ever going without something I needed. I have everything of necessity. I've never been without. And most of the things that I want that can be bought, I get. So I have nothing to complain about. And I'm not complaining in the situation. I'm just bringing forth the truth of what I experienced with certain failures and mistakes of my past. So I just really wanted to clarify there was nothing inherited to Carlos besides, oh, he got a bike too. I gave him a bike. So yeah, he got rent, he got a free place to stay basically because he's a mooch. He got a job that I gave him. He got a bike that I gave him. And then my family got him a ticket to where he has been and still is, the same location, same state. We sent him back home. and he's never left because that's just his economic status or lack thereof.